All right, hello everyone, and thank you for joining the quest. I am PS Quest, and I'm here to bring you today some updates on what's going on in the market. Particularly, we have seen the last couple days quite a nice rise in the altcoins, and so many are saying that we are headed towards the altcoin season, led initially by Ethereum. Ethereum was pumping for many days on end. I think it hit 11 days in a row of green candles. Small correction, right back up, and now we're headed back towards really the all-time highs on Ethereum. It was headed initially by Ethereum, the altcoin season. Now it's headed by Bitcoin. Bitcoin is leading the pack here. Bitcoin has broken up, and it was up about 7%, I believe, before it closed just now. The daily candles, of course, close at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And yeah, gosh, we were up 8% on the day, which was very nice for Bitcoin. Now, the dominance didn't do much, stayed pretty neutral, but we are still below this wedge. And below this wedge means that the altcoins will definitely start breaking out. Now, the more of this dominance we see breaking downwards, the more, of course, we're going to see altcoins pump. So if Bitcoin is pumping and the alts are pumping, the dominance should stay pretty flat. But if Bitcoin slows down a little bit, yet the alts continue pumping, that's, of course, when the dominance will break down. And that's when we start to see a big run on the altcoins. So in the spirit of the altcoin season, which is going to commence very shortly here, people are saying August and September. I tend to agree with that. That's what the charts are indicating. That's what the fundamentals are showing. This show is going to review really what's going on with the altcoins. So I picked a few that are right now still relatively looking undervalued to talk about and to see what's going on in the market. So let's get started. We have here Stellar. This is a great project that I spoke about in the last live stream, where it was pumping because it was just getting so much more adoption. We were seeing countries adopting this as a platform that their banks would use, and it's almost inevitable at this point, I think, that Stellar XLM is going to be the host of, excuse me, at least one of the CBDCs, which is a central bank digital currency. So their adoption is fantastic. Many countries are looking at it. And not only is the market cap still quite reasonable, it's an $8 billion market cap. It's very high. It's ranked number 19. And the price, of course, is going up. But look how far off we are from the highs. We had an all-time high of, what is this? Almost 60-some cents back in... Actually, let me pull up the trading view here. This is a better chart here. So XLM, we had the all-time high of 79 cents, almost 80 cents. This was back in May of this year, May 16th. We're still so far off that. Look how much off that we are. It's not to say that we're going to go to all-time high again, but we very well might. It's 122%. It would be a 122% increase from right now if we hit the all-time high. If we just match that. So we're under the 200-day moving average. Excuse me. And we have, of course, bullish news with the country adoption. Stellar is, right now they have the automated market makers on Stellar. They have adoption by different countries. They have central banks of countries looking at Stellar ecosystem. And there's just a lot of really good news about this coin. So I think it's inevitable that we will see a nice surge in Stellar over the next few days, possibly a few weeks. And of course, if we think about Bitcoin going back up to the all-time highs of 60K, going perhaps surpassing that, and we see a bull run continue on towards the $100,000 Bitcoin that's on everybody's mind, that's really... percentage-wise of an increase, we're at 110% increase maybe from Bitcoin. But if you look at lumens, what's going to happen if the all-time high of lumens doubles? And this is why altcoins are so powerful, is because if you double the all-time high of Stellar, you're looking at $1.40. From this very point, we would be seeing somewhere around Yeah, 280, almost 300% increase in the price that you can get into now. I mean, it's possible for these things to happen. Now, this is not financial advice whatsoever. I'm just looking at the history of the coins. I'm looking at the history and the market, where we are in terms of the moving averages, where we could be, and giving an idea of where these things could possibly go. So keep that in mind for Stellar. Great project and a lot going on. It's one of those coins I think that's going to really shine in this alt season. Now, one criticism about Stellar is the volume of coins that are going to be available, the max supply, and also the circulating supply. We're at 23 billion coins right now. 23 billion coins is a lot, and the market cap is high. And when I first got into cryptocurrency, I didn't much look at the market caps. I thought, let's just look at the price. Wow, look how cheap Tron is, or look how cheap Doge is. It's 4 or 5 cents. Why don't people buy more of it? And then I realized, well, hey, look, that's because the supply is so massive. It takes that much more to move the price. And so then I got skeptical about this. But then as I learned more about it, I actually kind of went back to thinking that this doesn't really matter that much at the end of the day. Okay, what if Stellar has a market cap of $1 trillion? So what if it surpasses Bitcoin in terms of market cap? I think that eventually we will see many projects, surpass Bitcoin in terms of market cap. Bitcoin doesn't always have to have the dominance of market cap, and that's what we're seeing now. We're seeing it absolutely, break down. From being just completely and totally dominant, back in 2016, 2017, 2018. And even quite a bit of 2019 and even 2020, we're seeing it break down. Look at this, guys. This right here. Absolute breakdown of dominance. That means that altcoins will be shining. And the reason why is there's just so much adoption. There's so much use. There's so much to still develop. And we're going to go over many other projects today. So that's Stellar. We'll get that out of the way. The next one I want to talk about is VeChain. So let's pull up the TradingView chart for VeChain really quick. We have just broken the 200-day moving average. Again, that's probably like the fundamental sign that a coin is doing well. But look how far off we are from those highs. We're still so far away from the highs. So looking at this, can we get back to the all-time highs? If we do, we're at 140% increase. We double that, and we're at like 260, close to the 300%. I mean, this is kind of the way things are going to be. We look at the idea, the tokenomics of VeChain. VeChain is a supply chain centered coin. So the idea is that tracking and tracing of UPC codes and things like that. So UPC codes, QR codes are probably going to be obsolete in the future, because if you can just put them on an immutable blockchain like VeChain, that's much more trackable, much more traceable, less subject to issues with duplication or corruption. I mean, that's just non-existent in a blockchain system. So you put that together, you have VeChain. It has massive adoption. We're talking Walmart, China. We're talking, Louis Vuitton. I think there's all kinds of different companies that have already adopted VeChain. And looking at their news, they are targeting now the multi-billion-dollar Chinese pet food industry. Against overall market downturn from the global pandemic, the China's pet food industry bucked the trend with notable growth. And we see that from shipping. I mean, a lot of the times, U.S. exports will ship containers, hundreds of containers of pet food, to China. So the pet food market in China is definitely still not mature enough, and it needs something like VeChain. It needs traceability, it needs tracking. And what better way to do it than something as efficient as the blockchain technology? And VeChain really is one of those that shines specifically for China. Now, if it works for China, it could work anywhere, because there's more people in China than anywhere else in the world. I mean, so this is absolutely bullish, not only for VeChain, but for blockchain technology as a whole. So that's definitely something that we want to pay attention to. This is definitely a coin we want to pay attention to, guys. The other cool thing about VeChain is by holding VeChain coins, you get passive staking, and you get something called VTHOR. And VTHOR is the energy needed for developers. So if a developer is using the VeChain platform, they need this token. They need to use this, and it's got a burn mechanism and everything in place. It's solid. It's way lower than the all-time high, as just like all the other altcoins are right now, still very undervalued. But VeTho has been on an absolute tear recently. I mean, it's gone up day after day. It's going up quite a bit, which means that, hey, you know what? Developers are using this. This has use cases. This has function. We're talking the last 4 days, VeTho has gone up as much as 60%. And right now it's up 46% in the last 4 days. Guys, you get this for free just by having VeChain. So if you have, let's say, 1,000 VeChain in your wallet, you're going to get VeTho. I believe it's every month. It might be every couple of weeks. I don't know what the exact formula is that they distribute it. But just by holding it in whatever platform you're on, if it's Kucoin, if it's Binance, you just have VeChain and you get VeTho passively. You stake it. So just by owning VeChain and holding it, you're getting VeTho. So that's another really cool perk about VeChain, and I think something that's going to drive the price forward because people might use it as a store of value in the future. The more adoption it gets, the more popular VeThor gets, the more people and developers are going to need to buy VeThor on the market, which is what we're seeing now. That's what's increasing the price like this. So that's good news. That's where VeChain is right now. Another one I want to talk about is Elrond, EGLD, also known as eGold. Okay, so this is basically an everything platform. They do anything you can think of. They have DeFi, they have NFTs, they have synthetics, they have market makers, they have DEXs, they have everything. And they're innovating constantly and growing constantly. And the thing is, it's a beast of a blockchain. So because they do so much, I think it takes them time to make progress on these things. But when they do make progress, it's massive and it's industry changing. And so why don't we take a look at what's going on here? Oh yeah, so Elrond traders on the Myer Exchange will soon be able to enhance their trading experience with the DEX Tools app trading terminal. So I think a lot of us are familiar with DEX Tools app. This is the app. Well, it's a website really, and it'll show us what is the price of like a lot of ERC20 tokens or a lot of the very small market cap tokens that are created on either ERC20 or BEP2 or BEP20. But the Myer Exchange is going to have they're going to have Myer Exchange on there. So Myer Exchange, think of it as the Uniswap for eGold, aka Elrond. So the Elrond DeFi space is just growing with this. This is really, really good news for the DeFi space in eGold. We'll probably see tokens on eGold launching very soon, and their values and their trading histories are going to be mapped by DEX tools, which is very exciting, and it's good news for the price of Elrond. Now, looking at the price, let's see, are we still undervalued with Elrond? I want to say we are, but maybe not, because it did have a nice run-up on the synthetic announcement, which I covered a little while ago. They're having synthetics tethered to gold and silver, which kind of is cool. It reinforces the name, the eGold name. And at the same time, it's like, why would you trade futures when you could trade, synthetic eGold? Okay, yeah, we are a little bit above the 200-day moving average. A nice buy-in would actually be on the moving day average, the 200-day moving average, because it would probably bounce back up. So not as much of a resurgence as some of the other coins. eGold could easily see the $200 to $300 level, which would put it up about 75% to probably 250 in the short term during this altcoin season. So eGold is one to keep an eye on, absolutely. Again, I would look at these levels for a retest, because what this likes to do, especially after a period of sideways movement, aka consolidation, is it'll kind of break downwards, but then it'll find support. Support meaning, hey, what do people want to buy this at? They want to buy it kind of at the 200-day moving average. So then after people show that they want to buy it, then it comes back up. But we do have to test this first. So that's eGold. Let's move on to the next one. Basic Attention Token, BAT. So this is the Brave Browser token. Brave Browser is absolutely changing the way that ads are displayed. They just pop up right here. In fact, a couple of them have already come up during this live stream. But the way it works is it grabs your attention briefly. It's not intrusive, and it's acceptable. And you know what? People know what they're getting into. The ads show up, and they know that the ads are showing up, and they want them to show up because they get paid for it. So you get paid basic attention token just by allowing the ads to pop up for you. Like I said, non-intrusive. They're the same color as the background, and they're just little slight ads that don't make a big difference in whatever you're doing. It doesn't really interrupt you. So that, combined with the fact that they block all the other ads, or they claim to block all the other ads that you face, means that, yeah, I think this is definitely going somewhere. I mean, they're basically revolutionizing the marketing space of the internet. So instead of being on the platform, like let's say YouTube, you're on YouTube and you get an ad from YouTube. Well, if you have a Brave browser, guess what? Your YouTube ad is getting blocked by Brave, and Brave, the actual browser itself, is going to show you the ad. And you're going to get paid for looking at the ad. So it's kind of like, who wouldn't want that? So their fundamentals are solid. Just a sec. Okay, so the fundamentals of BAT are solid, and that's never going to change. The price has been pretty flat. I mean, we haven't seen so much activity with BAT. And the reason why is, who knows? Maybe there's just not enough talk about it. Or maybe the supply, let's see, 1.4 billion. I mean, that's a decent supply. It's almost already all diluted. It's almost fully diluted, but they're still giving these away. So why wouldn't this be surging? I think the reason is just because the functionality of the token doesn't have the kind of functionality that other coins have or tokens have, where it's like it's used for burning mechanisms, or it has to be market bought by the developers, or whatnot. It just doesn't have that yet. So it's really kind of just a store of value and a reflection of the company itself. Now, when they add more, and I expect this to happen very soon, my hopes and my wishes for Brave and Basic Attention Token is that they somehow integrate this token into like a gaming software. Like, let's say that Brave partners up with a browser gaming or a flash gaming. It used to be called flash gaming. You'd have a flash app on your desktop and you'd play a little game. Well, as the cryptocurrency and blockchain related decentralized games start evolving, like right now we have Axie Infinity, we have Alien Worlds and stuff like that, but they're pretty rudimentary. And I think as they develop, I'm hoping that BATs are used to buy as a currency. They give it some kind of currency functionality within a game, and man, we could see this thing take off. You better believe it. I mean, it could go crazy. So the long-term effect of Brave, BAT, is absolutely huge. I don't know how impacted this coin will be for altcoin season, but it certainly is at a price level that is lower than it has been traditionally, and seems to be very, very undervalued to me. So it might not do a 3x or a 2x like the other coins might, the other altcoins might, but long term, I think it'll pay off. And you know what? I'm not the only person in this boat. I'm not the only person that thinks this way, because there's a lot of the apps that you can stake your coins on to earn interest on them, and those apps almost always accept BAT. They want you to keep your BAT on their platform so that they can earn interest on it, and that's because they're bullish on the long-term future value of BAT. So let's see if there's anything going on in the Twitter. I haven't actually gone over this before the stream, so this will just be a live interpretation of what's going on here. They're retweeting the 0x, and I know they are in the 0x space. So the introduction of Brave Swap, cool, yeah. We do need to see Brave actually available on more platforms. You know what I mean? So this is actually really, really good news for Brave. It's not something that you see on all the platforms to buy and sell yet. I mean, if we see CoinMarketCap is usually pretty good about telling us where we can buy this. Yeah, Binance, Coinbase, Oh yeah, it's on Kraken. It's on a few. It's on Bittrex, Gate, KuCoin. Maybe it's not. I don't know. Yeah, but it's not on everything. FTT, I don't see. I do see KuCoin here. I don't see FTT. But that's good, man. I mean, it's good that they're working with other chains as well. other exchanges and other chains. And actually, we're going to be talking about another chain in a minute here that is really cool. So that's BAT. Now, Harmony, one of my favorite projects, and the reason for that is just because it is one of the only, if not the only blockchain that has active state sharding, which is a technology that Ethereum has been really trying to do for, oh gosh, I don't know, since the inception of Ethereum, and it still hasn't done it. But on Harmony, it's live, and they've been using it for a long time. The beauty of active state sharding is that it incentivizes people to buy and run nodes in ways that other coins just do not. Because for active state sharding, the more the better. The more active state shards you have, the more your network is running, the faster your network is. It's almost exponential how much better it makes the network. So they incentivize more and more people to buy and hold. Which is exactly what's needed for the price of a coin to go up, is you buy it, you hold it. So I love Harmony 1. I think it has a lot of potential, not only as a smart contract launching platform, but also in the DeFi space, also in the NFT space. They work with DaVinci, DaVinci.gallery to have NFTs. It's kind of focused more on the luxurious side of the NFTs, the more prestigious looking NFTs. So you're not going to get any pixelated JPEGs on DaVinci Gallery. You're going to see more like traditional classical style artwork on there, which is nice. I think that's a good niche to have. So we're barely above the 200-day moving average on Harmony 1. We have right here a nice support band, which I think that we might bounce off of. So my predictions here for Harmony are, I don't think it's going to go down that much more before it corrects back up, but I do think it might get rejected a little bit at the 10 cents, almost the 11 cent range, just to try to retest, say, hey, are we sure that we're coming down here? It might even retest back to the 200-day moving average before it comes back here, bounces up, retests, and then goes to the moon. So yeah, there is definitely potential here for Harmony. There's just too much positive stuff going on with the project for it not to succeed. We're almost 100% away from, which is a doubling, a 2x away from the second high, the second top, as we call it, from the initial all-time high. We are currently, whoops, I'm going to try that one more time. We're currently, 129% off. So, 129% gains are actually possible for Harmony in the short term. I do believe that in the long term, Harmony will be worth a lot more, just because the fundamentals are so solid on this project. Now, if we look at what's going on, hey, guess what? They are on Rubik Exchange now. Rubik is a huge project that has a massive following, a very dedicated following is on Rubik. So Rubik is an exchange just like Thorchain, which is also called Rune, where you can just swap any chain token for any other chain token. Like if I want to swap Ethereum to Harmony 1, well, now I can using Rubik. So Rubik is really cool. I think they're doing great work. It's cross-chain, which is fantastic. We need more of that. Cross-chain just kind of expands the blockchain space. Instead of everything kind of being in its own little silo, it just bridges the gaps between the blockchains. And so I love these interoperability protocols like Rubik. They're necessary for this space. And the growth of this is paramount to the success of a lot of new chains. So that's one of the reasons I'm really bullish on Polkadot, is because it's kind of like a layer 0. It's not even a layer 1, like a layer 1 is a smart contract launching platform. It can be, Polkadot can be, but Polkadot is also a layer 0, so it can integrate other chains into what they call parachains. A little bit of an aside note, but that's what's going on with Harmony. Love it. Can't wait to see it grow more. Kucoin is up quite a bit. Ever since the Kucoin community chain launched, we've been seeing really nice growth with Kucoin, but I do believe that it is still undervalued. So if we look at this, we broke out of this wedge upwards, which is really good news. We did get hit by the resistance level that I drew here. But again, remember, when we go through resistance, the resistance does become support. So if we come down, we will touch this support before we go right back up, depending on whether we're bullish or bearish. And right now we are pretty bullish. This looks pretty good. We're still off, from the all-time highs. The all-time high of Kucoin, I think, was somewhere around the $18, $19 range. Yeah, almost $20. So it's still way undervalued. Considering how cool this coin is, it has passive staking. Just by holding Kucoin, you're getting more Kucoin in your wallet just based on whatever the trades are that happen on the exchange. By holding it, of course, you reap the benefits of paying lower fees, lower transaction fees. And just generally speaking, the coin is pretty undervalued. The market cap of this coin is pretty low. I mean, we're looking at only 80 million circulating supply. The market cap is still under $1 billion. It's ranked 90. It's very surprising because when the Kucoin community chain was introduced, we saw DeFi applications almost immediately on the Ku chain. They call it the Ku chain. Just like BNB, when the DeFi space amps up and we'll see that during the altcoin season. We'll see that big time. We'll see a lot of new DeFi things happening. We'll see a lot of new tokens being minted on different blockchains. And I think the Kucoin for sure is going to be one of those that has a huge surge as a result of that. So, hey, look at this. Pen Tweed. They've got a $1,000 giveaway right now. So check it out. Check out their Twitter. If you have a Kucoin account, you can enter to try to win $1,000, which is cool. I'll probably do that later. What else we have? Oh, Phantom. Okay, yeah, I wanted to talk about Phantom as well. This is a really cool project because it is the IoT project, the Internet of Things. Internet of Things is just kind of the smaller type devices that are very common in a city, urban environment, like parking meters or dog collars or street lights or whatever, things that maybe need to access the internet but don't really have the infrastructure to be like a full computer, or a phone, or it doesn't have the chips like that. So they use the Internet of Things, and there's no router, there's none of that. It just bounces off of the Internet of Things devices throughout the city. So Phantom is basically one of those. Well, it's not one of those. It's a DAG block. It's not a blockchain. Here's what Phantom is. It is a directed acyclic graph smart contract platform. The thing is that it excels in microtransactions. Because of the speed of the network, it just absolutely excels in microtransactions. So when I see Phantom, I think Internet of Things. And the reason I think that is because actual cities are being built on Phantom. Believe it or not, there are smart cities right now in the Middle East that are literally being built on Phantom. So yeah, that means that Phantom is going to run the Internet of Things of the city. Which is huge. That's why I love Phantom, and that's why I think that it's going places. It does have competition. It does, for sure. There are a lot of other DAG programs out there that are maybe just as fast and speed, and maybe they're also looking at building cities on. But so far, the ones that we know are Phantom. Phantom is the one that we know that they are building cities on. So I'm very bullish on Phantom. I think the project definitely has a lot of potential. It is a fast and scalable next-gen Layer 1 platform that can launch smart contracts. And again, because of the speed of it, it does excel with Internet of Things protocols. So QuickNode runs Phantom. Very cool. Yeah, QuickNode is... Take a look here. Okay. At QuickNode, we run Phantom RPC endpoints. In aggregate, we serve more than 40 billion requests every month. You see, 40 billion requests, that is insane. I mean, that is a huge amount of requests per month, and it needs something fast like Phantom, which is why Phantom excels at this kind of stuff. The networks do not get clogged, despite the massive number of transactions taking place. So because the transactions are so small on the Internet of Things protocols, that's why Phantom excels. So we're not seeing big packets of data being sent. We're seeing very small packets of data, but lots of them. So that's my take on Phantom. We have now the first 2FA built on blockchain. That is awesome. 2FA, two-factor authorization, that 6-digit number that you put in that you have on your phone that changes every, 10 seconds or something. It's like you can never put it in fast enough. But look, they're building the first one now. Oh, thank you for my BAT tokens. They're building the first now on Phantom. Think about this. Decentralized 2FA. No data collection. Nobody knows this. You can't get hacked. No centralized storage. Stay tuned for updates. You bet I will. This is huge. man, I'm surprised that actually that they haven't. They partnered with Shield 2 protocol. That makes sense. I was thinking they were going to partner with New Cipher or one of these cryptographic blockchains to do this kind of thing, but they partnered with Shield Protocol now to do decentralized 2FA. That is cool. That is really cool. So see, we're continuing to see nonstop innovation within the blockchain space, which is just what makes this thing so beautiful. We're at the very early stages here, guys. I mean, if you're watching this video and you are interested in cryptocurrency, this is why we do it, guys. We do it because there's brand new things coming up every single day. There's innovation happening like you wouldn't believe on things that will change the way that the world works. It'll change the way that you interact with the world. So let's take a look at the pricing of Phantom. I think I'm still following Phantom. I hope I am. Here we go. Yes. Oh, look at that. Hasn't even passed the 200-day moving average. Yeah, I mean, as much of a crazy run-up as Phantom has had, and as volatile as I remember this is a very volatile price, but look how fast it's run up. My goodness, it's gone up 124% since the biggest dip. Excuse me. Okay, and now we're seeing that it's still under the 200-day moving average. Fantastic. There is so much space for this to grow. 178, so that double that. We're looking at almost a 400% possible increase in Phantom, which would be so cool for this. So yeah, definitely another undervalued coin is Phantom. So much that they're working on. I think the last thing I wanted to talk about was Helium, and then we'll call it a day. So Helium HNT is another Internet of Things protocol. However, this particular protocol is focused more on the hardware side. It's they call it the people's internet, right? They call it the it's the people's internet because anybody, a normal person, you or me, can buy one of these routers, one of these Helium routers, plug it in and put it on our windowsill, and we can participate in the operation of the Helium network. How cool is that? And in exchange for that, we get rewarded with HNT tokens for helping them power their network. And the HNT tokens are worth a decent amount of money right now. It's a beautiful project. I think that it really does kind of solidify cryptocurrency as a decentralized platform. Because if we can decentralize the entire internet with our own devices, I mean, how cool would that be? I see that in the future. Maybe you don't even need internet because you have a Helium router and we're all sharing each other's internet space, right? That's really, really cool to think about. So powered by the Helium blockchain, the People's Network represents a paradigm shift for decentralized wireless infrastructure. No longer do you have to rely on the big guys. We can do it ourselves, So great news here. The People's Network user Open makes use of LongFi coverage. Check this out. New user Open selects the People's Network to launch Global IoT, which is the Internet of Things education initiative at 40 schools. So today they're excited to announce a new network user that's bringing the People's Network to the kids and around the globe. Open is One Planet Education Network. They're devoted to promoting STEM education programs on sustainable community development. Working with primary and secondary level classrooms, Open teaches students to use next-gen technology to solve challenges in the real world, such as ensuring food security, monitoring the environment and climate change, and supporting emergency services. Their goal is to link the growing list of 40-plus schools, and it's working by integrating the People's Network, aka Helium, as the backbone for agricultural and environmental monitoring. Oh, this is great news, guys. This is almost philanthropic work. But at the same time, it's just helping to expand this network, and it's just helping to spread the awareness of Helium, not just for US or Europe, but across the globe, which is awesome. So I think that's all I wanted to cover. Let's take a look very quickly about the Helium price. We'll see where we are. Are we undervalued? We're a little overvalued right now, sorry to say. Helium, man, but are we though? Because look, we're close to the all-time high. So traditionally, when people see an all-time high, they get a little scared and start selling. We're 30% away from that right now. Does that mean it's a good time to buy? You never know, because this project is growing at such a rapid rate. You never know, but it is pretty high over the 200-day moving average. But I know that this project has so far to go, and I do also know that their circulating supply, 95 million, puts their market cap at 1.6 billion. It's still got a ways to go. For something that's really changing the world, this is definitely a coin that we can see run up, and it did. I remember very first time it ran up, it was like $8, and it ran up to $9, and it just did not stop. And something similar could happen. Something similar to that could for sure happen, where we see an increase, of about 220% over the course of 16 days. This probably could happen to all the altcoins, but Helium in particular is known to go on very nice runs. So, I wouldn't be surprised to see Helium run up to brand new all-time highs, maybe even $30. It's potential. The potential's there for this network. The only thing stopping it really is just awareness of how amazing and incredible the platform is. And it looks like they're doing a great job in spreading the awareness. So, very happy about Helium. Maybe keep an eye on it. Maybe look for a pullback. Maybe look for it to get a little closer to the 200-day moving average and then pick some up and watch it go. So, that's it for today. If you like the stream, please give me a like. Please do subscribe. I plan on doing streams 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, around 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And until next time, keep your portfolio strong and your hands stronger.